seen it being blue side picked super heavily, especially by D+, but it's not the same in every other region. I know in the LEC, red side's picked a good amount. I feel like a lot of this series has been about dragon control. And if you think about blue side, one of the aspects of it is easier approach to the Baron pit. You know, the sides are flipped when you look at dragon pit.
Yeah.
If you're on blue side of the dragon pit, it's easy to get trapped in the dragon pit, easy to disengage. When you're on red side, maybe that's an aspect of it. Either way, as was alluded to on the space, very uncommon to see red side prioritized in the LCK. And the LCK is definitely known for a region who just kind of always do the same thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it pans out. Renata being banned first immediately by Gen.G, so Kalista Renata immediately off the cards.
I think that's actually a good look for a Game 4. We've seen a lot of Kalista Renata Game 4, around Game 4 here in Fearless Drafts. As we are going to have Rumble, which is just pretty standard.
Yeah, there's still some power picks left open and available that need to kind of be banned, need that respect to be paid. The Nico slid through last draft because that Karma was picked by BFX. You don't really want to play Nico Nakama, so that will be banned here. These are also the two best supports to play with Kalista, is Nico and Renata. So if Diablo was thinking of playing Kalista, his support options being massively limited.
It's okay, you could just play Kalista Nautilus.
I mean, you could, but...
Orky gonna be banned here.
Some of the picks that were banned in the last draft that haven't been here, Ryze, obviously, Orianna. And then there was also, I mean, it was BFX who banned the Anivia to try and get the Ryze. Will Gen.G try and ban something to try and set themselves up? Are they going to try and trade mid laners? Are they going to ban Orianna to try and get Ryze? Are they going to try and ban Anivia to try and get Ryze? They're going to ban Orianna, so Ryze is open. And BFX won't think about going Anivia into it, they'll just ban Ryze immediately.
Jarvan is left up.
Jarvan is open and available. Nocturne, yeah. A lot of the junglers. A lot of value. And the fact that, so Ezreal's gone, Corki was banned. So those safer options that can disengage gone. Gen.G toying with the Renekton first pick. Will lock it in. Nara isn't available. Kennen is, though. And Kennen's a bit of a clear special. So definitely something he could lean on as a response to this.
It's almost like they're trying to bait it out in a way as Aphelios gets slammed in, and so does Jarvan. So
Immediately
hovered.
The thing with picking, I think Aphelios Jarvan's fine here. The problem is, though, Aphelios Thresh has been really popular. And if you want to get Aphelios Thresh, you kind of have to take Thresh on that third pick, limit your ability to counteract the Renekton for the second set of bans. You're also taking Jarvan without knowing what you're playing into. That being said, though, in this situation, we have already limited a lot of the options available in terms of safe picks that can get out of Cataclysm.
Nidalee.
Renekton Nidalee, it's a classic, not seen it for a long time, and they will lock it in. We saw last game, Canyon was so focused on stealing camps, finding momentum, will commit to the pick here, and it's something that obviously gives Jarvan a hard time. Not too much you can do to a Nidalee with all the mobility that she does have.
She'll jump out of the Cataclysm, she will jump into your jungle, and looks like they want to pick something for Chovy that can go well with the Nidalee. They're thinking about Akali.
Wow.
Zoe. Okay.
Okay. So quite heavy poke focus into the Aphelios, who obviously can struggle when he's outranged.
Yeah.
But this is a fragile composition from Gen.G. Will just be the Thresh that you're going to secure here, so not really giving yourself space to respond to what Gen.G locked in by almost being forced to take this Thresh here. Also a little concerning because I feel like you want a gap close on what Gen.G have, but you want the Thresh for safety for your Aphelios. So Thresh, if you land a hook, great, but he's not as reliable as other picks. Either way, this is kind of crazy from Gen.G.
Yeah. I feel like BNK's comp is very good into Renekton. like just as a champion, but the rest of it they're not very good into. So
Leona ban,
have
which
to figure that out.
I'm not so sure about. Thresh generally pretty good into Leona, and it very much increased the value of things like Cleanse, Mikhail's, Mimic Treads. So Leona ban, not one I'd typically expect. A Kali ban comes through. You know, we saw Vikla obviously solo kill Chovy on that Azir, but also something that can be played into the Zoe.
You know, stealth makes it hard for Zoe to hit stuff. You can shuriken back even if she goes at you from very far away. So could have been a good choice, but not going to happen this time for Vikla.
Yeah, kind of difficult to figure out what what he can play in this situation. Is going to be able to match up well into the Zoe and function well for the comp. Do see the Blitzcrank ban come through, which I think makes sense. Duro, bit of a specialist on this pick, and if you land a Sleepy Trouble Bubble and then just hook someone, they are just dead. Also good into the Thresh. I think the Galio ban's good, syncs well with the Jarvan, and kind of, especially into a Nidalee Zoe, just stack them on, they're not going to be able to do anything to you. But didn't really touch the likes of the Kennen.
Yeah.
Which we know is a good matchup into the Renekton. We know it's something that Clear is very solid on. Will they just go that? For now, they're going to pick up the Syndra for Vikla, something that's definitely playable into the Zoe. And you do have that Scat of the Week. If you can connect with that onto one of these targets, could find a way to close the gap.
Yeah, and if Helios has enough damage, it's not like you're playing like a Jhin with the Syndra and you're kind of lacking damage, so feels good. And the response, Jinx, seemingly to be hovered. They're thinking about the Nautilus first, so that's going to come out.
Nautilus, something we've seen picked a decent amount in times past into Thresh. I don't love it into the Jarvan, just the Cataclysm disrupts what you want to do quite a bit. Jinx, though, I mean, we know Ruler's a great Jinx, and we've seen it a ton of times into the Aphelios specifically. This is very much, I'm thinking about the 2v2, but into Syndra Jarvan, not the most fun scenario for the Jinx, and not a ton of protection in this composition.
I think they're just going to hope they can, you know, press their buttons forward and, you know, get ahead in that manner and create space for the Jinx. So the Kennen kind of being held up, but they might want another frontliner here.
I think it's one of the two. You know, they definitely want something that can help lead the charge, and Ornn has that engage. If you hit that ult, and the rest of the team can move in, set up that engage, if you close the distance on Gen.G's backline, it's just game over. And I think Gen.G have a composition where if you get that early momentum, then yes, some of these picks can be really frustrating to deal with. But it just, you know, if Renekton Nidalee falls behind, if Zoe falls behind, there's not that much protection for the Jinx. Their composition is definitely not one we'd expect to see in the year of 2026 in the LCK Cup.
No.
And it's also very fragile. Whereas BNK Fearax, their composition feels a lot more standard. Now, they may at times struggle to get on top of some of these members on the back line, but they have engage tools. As long as they connect, and we know BNK Fearax, they will throw everything in the kitchen sink at them.
Yeah.
We just have to see if they can pull it off.
I think there's a lot of ways to punish the Zoe specifically. If he ever gets a little bit too aggressive, you can get an Ornn Horn right on top of you, a Scout of the Week right on top of you. Even a Thresh can set up hooks. Even the Jarvan can be ready to flag drag. So Chovy's got to be very measured here, but they also need him to do a lot of poke and prodding with the Nidalee. We'll have to wait and see how it is going to pan out here. This does look like we are just about ready to hop onto the Rift for game number 4. And let's do that right now. Alrighty, game 4 on the cards.
I think an aspect as well of the Ornn into the Renekton Nidalee is a lot more stable than the Kennen. Also can kind of tank the Sleepy Trouble Bubbles a little bit and buffer with the W.
Yeah, think it's not a bad shout. I mean, they've put Clear on tanks in the past. You know, he was kind of forced on a Scion duty even in game 2. And I think the Ornn, definitely pretty stable, difficult to dive. We'll see if he can just get to the lane. That's going to be his job, essentially, because we know what Renekton Nidalee does. If you haven't watched the LCK, you know, maybe 2 years plus prior, this was very common, very strong duo that we used to see pretty often, especially when they wanted to play aggressively and look for dives. As you stun and then you throw a spear. And it's AD and AP from top and jungle. Some tempo heals thrown out.
Yeah.
Thinking about when they were going to go for the hook, and Kellen just gets hooked and has to flash away.
Yeah, that was really poor, if I'm being honest, from Kellen there. He was standing in tower range to be like, you hook me, I'll pull you in, baiting it, and then he stepped way too far forward for no reason. Gets CC chained, has to flash. Unnecessary, completely unnecessary. I think they were playing well, using the heal to disengage until that moment, and then just a big misplay that comes out. And now Flashless, he's a bit of a vulnerable target. We talked about the Renekton Nidalee, but every lane has set up for this Nidalee. You know, if you're going to be successful with a Nidalee, you want lanes that can land the CC if you land the spear. Every lane has CC.
I was a little bit worried when I saw the Akali hovered for that reason, because Akali, while a strong pick individually, doesn't very well set up for the Nidalee. And blinds can be a bit of a rough time, especially when already they were showing some CC with the Jarvan. Canyon is a bit of a Nidalee connoisseur. Kind of goes without saying, but yeah, nice to see the stat.
Yeah. Oh, that's
hook into the minions, and now Diablo just stunned up basically forever. Doesn't want to flash, uses the barrier instead, and Spear nearly hits him, and he might still die as Canyon's getting ready to jump on in. As the tanking goes over to Ruler, he's able to flash out. It's an easy dive and a kill onto Diablo for first blood.
So some situations, it's like if you have good setup, you can force a play, you can make a play happen because, you know, you have such reliable CC, you can just kill them anyway. And then some plays happen because, you know, the other team misplays or your team plays exceptionally and you capitalize. This was definitely the latter, right? They got that initial play on a Kellen, and then a great dredge line from Duro connects onto Diablo, and look, it seems like it just catches him just in front of the minion there.
Oh.
The hitbox a bit too big, he thought he was behind, and also he's not able to grab the lantern in time. The hook from Kellen pulls Duro on top of it as well, and now he's low enough that they can kind of just walk in and take the kill for free. They do have to burn a lot of sums to get it, but it's still a pretty free one. No response comes out, and ultimately, this was just an opportunistic play from Canyon. His bot lane winning the 2v2, and him coming in and able just to pick up a freebie. And now not only does he have a lead, but his bot lane also have a lead as well, because Diablo was denied so much farm in that situation.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time for Canyon now, who's going to be accelerated. And we'll look to hit that first item as fast as possible, and can really begin to terrorize some of these lanes, because, you know, if Nidalee is behind or just even and not really getting a lot of value through counter jungling or ganks, it doesn't really feel like you're getting value out of your pick. As we take a look at what happened in mid, looks like Chovy had to flash.
Yep, Kellen showed up there, and that got forced, so good moves there at least. To get a cleanse on Vikla though. And top lane, Keena's gonna Cole, has a little bit of a lead, but Clay doing okay so far. And as much as obviously feels bad what happened bot lane for being K4X, maybe Clay was just like, oh, thank God it's not me.
I mean, probably, but at the same time, I kind of want Diablo to be farming and getting money and carrying you with some
He'll give him
items.
the ornaments later. It's fine.
Yeah. I feel like the Ornn has not really hit as good as it used to in the past. Obviously, he received a lot of changes over the years because he was so prevalent in the LCK and other regions.
Yeah, a lot of toning down.
Yeah.
He did do just a bit too much.
Still good into a lot of the lanes as kind of a neutralizer, especially into Rumble is the one we see a lot. But Renekton a lot beefier.
Yeah, still has this engage tool, which is nice. But dealing with 6 melee carries, not so fun. No matter how tanky you are. Dragon picked up, and I think Gen.G continuing this objective momentum going to be really important for them. With a composition like this, you need to be trying to get as many as you can early as possible.
That's definitely one of the other things that Italy is really good at as well. Allows you to snowball. She can take objectives very fast.
Wow, she's good at so many things. Why don't we see Nidalee more often?
Well, she's hard to play. It's not the only reason, but you know, you have to have lanes that I feel like you have to check a lot of boxes to really make it work. As the Horn does get the cannon, most importantly, and Chovy is what I was talking about. Now he doesn't have his flash, although the damage isn't quite there, but
He did just have a locket in his pocket, so that's nice.
That's not fair.
Yeah. I mean, I also think, you know, Nidalee is very liable to fall off a cliff. We all remember the Atlas airbet.
Baldless.
Which I believe was also Nidalee into Ornn. Wasn't it?
It would make sense for that time, right?
It was definitely Nidalee, but I'm pretty sure it was into Ornn as well.
Wouldn't be surprising.
Which, in hindsight, was a terrible bet to make, you know?
I mean, it was a ridiculous lead they had, right? So
Even so.
Sometimes you get unlucky.
Don't catch me making a bet like that, Nidalee into Ornn. No way.
Atlas at that time was playing it a little bit fast and loose, you know. Nowadays, he has learned his lesson.
No, he hasn't. No, he has not.
A little bit.
He would still do that. Yeah, it's just... Do you remember release Zoe, just, you know, the early redemption? And just being able to slam that down?
Yeah.
Just having a free locket is just not balanced.
You could see he was very calm throughout that whole thing. I think he knew that he was not in danger, but it still does show an example of how they are going to punish the Zoe, as I was talking about after the draft. You know, she hops forward in the portal jump. You just know exactly where she's going to go back, and it makes these pick potential plays from B&K very obvious to play. As Clear was thanking his lucky stars last time, but now with the Dominus coming in, he is desperately trying to clear the wave. As one stun comes through, Keen is going to eat a couple of turret shots, but pretty simple enough here for Gen.G.
Yeah, he really tried. But it's just difficult into Renekton Nidalee. There's just a limited amount you can do. A lot of mobility, the extra health for the Renekton ultimate to keep him alive for the dive. And it's kind of like back to our usual programming, you know. Canyon went bot because there was a window that was open and available, but this is kind of what we expected. First and foremost.
Yeah. It seems like bot lane is kind of going the way it has been after the dive, which is Ruler. About 400 gold in the lead, did pick up a call of his own. And they are just kind of scaling down here with the Jinx, with the call. They also have Renekton with call. Keen always tries his best to find any possible way to get ahead of his tank opponent in the top lane, and he makes sure that he punishes pretty much every team and player for picking a tank into him, even if he doesn't have first strike.
Yeah, that's kind of been his thing. You know, a lot of players picking tanks into him, and other than Shiwu in that series, usually Keen just getting the better of them. Oh.
Right, flash on forward onto Ruler, who just cleanses away. Duro not able to hook onto the wall, throws out the depth charge, but eventually Raptor is going to come on in. Oh, but the buffer gets onto the wall before the Cataclysm gets in.
So close. If Raptor been a little sooner on that play, and the Cataclysm gets down, Dredgeline would have hit it. It looks like, obviously, he's Dredgelining through the terrain, but the Q's already gone out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that the terrain comes through because, you know, the logic is Dredgeline is there, I'm going to it.
Diablo's kind of getting choked here.
He's just baiting the ult. He's just, you know, he's just doing his thing.
Calculated.
Always surprised.
Wasn't able to clear the wave. It's going to miss a couple of ranged minions there. Needs pretty much everything he can get, to be honest. to try to catch up. He's now almost 700 gold behind anyone Collector first, which not a bad item into this comp specifically. There's just not a lot of tankiness, but you still have to deal with Nautilus and Renekton.
Yeah, so here, the first one, so he gets it into the wall, but the second drag of the hook pulls him out of it. But he gets a reduced cooldown because he hit the train, and then here, because he hits the train again, it does get him out of it.
뺐어. 슬래시 노플. 야, 이게 저렇게 되네.
Ruler was very surprised. He was like, whoa, that's the way it works. Certainly very impressed by Duro's play there, so...
Yeah, so
it can be difficult to impress Ruler.
The Cataclysm's down before you throw it, you'll just Q the Cataclysm, but because he Q'd before the Cataclysm was down, even though it came down after, he went to it. But,
well, yeah, he's going to be pulled back once again, and this time Duro does not have his flash, so can be in a bit of trouble here. He's going to hook into the wall once again. Duro is clean on this Nautilus, and he will live, as now the hook comes back in. Kellen is dead. We got the TP here first from Keen, and now B&K are just running for their lives. So much damage is being thrown down, and there's nowhere for B&K to run or to hide. Flashes being thrown out here. Chovy behind enemy lines into two of them, and even lands the bubble. It's beautiful from Chovy to finish it off. And now it's 7-0, 6,000 gold the lead for Gen.G. This one might just be over.
And I think Kellen might have respawned in time, so it wasn't quite an ace, but it pretty much was. All 5 members of B&K FearX going down to 6,000 gold lead. This is what you need with a Nidalee composition. And Duro is just doing his best Spider-Man impression, the way he's just latching onto these walls. Crazy work. So here's the first one. Again, grabs the terrain, but he's pulled out of it. But he gets the reduced cooldown. It's halved, so notably he can go for it again. Buffers out the CC, walks off, gets the heal, and then he's like, oh, now I have my cooldown again. I'm going for Thresh. They get that first kill, and then they can move forward aggressively. Player TP's in and tries to peel, but they're already so low. So much was burnt onto this Nautilus. And then they think they can stop. But the problem is they're into a Zoe. So Chovy is just picking up all these flashes and able to dive forward.
Oh boy.
Kills Vikla, gets the
너 되게
sleep
잘 빠는데 오늘? 뭐냐?
onto
2판?
Diablo.
오늘은 아니고 2판?
So Ruler was like, you are so good today. I mean, this game. Ruler doesn't want to over-compliment, you know? He wants to keep Duro in his place.
Keep him grounded.
Which, you know, Duro has been really good this game. So I think he's been great other games too. But Ruler not going to go that far. And now, I mean, it was 6,000, now it's 7.5. They got both of the Drakes. It's Ocean Soul, but like, legitimately, I think this comp could win with any soul. As long as you're this far ahead, and you have a Jinx that's nearly 3,000 gold ahead as well. Your Nidalee has an arm guard. It's kind of like a luxury arm guard at this point. I just, unless Gen.G severely overstep, I do not see B&K having a way back into this one. I'm not going to bet my hair on it. We're not going that far. We've learned our lesson here as a team. But,
yeah, but you wouldn't trust Gen.G?
I would, actually, but...
oh, so you would bet your hair?
Still no hair bet. No,
still no
it's
hair bet.
Not going to happen. Maybe we should call up Atlas and see if he'll bet his hair, even though he's not working today.
Just invoke it. You know what? You know what I think actually should bet their hair? Because the first time...
Oh, no. There's the stun, there's the bubble. Yep, see you later.
The first time, it was Atlas who bet his hair.
Yeah.
And there was someone else on standby who didn't.
And who might have that been?
Chronicler, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we should bet Chronicler's hair.
I'm sure you'd appreciate that.
He has quite long hair as well.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
there's a lot to bet. You know what? I'm willing to do it. Are you willing to do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love to bet Chronicler's hair on this game.
Yeah, I am willing to bet Chronicler's hair that Gen.G win this game. You know what? I'm willing to bet Chronicler's hair that they don't win this game.
Yeah, G-Sun also said she got telepathy, a message from Chronicler that, in fact, he has agreed
Oh.
to the hairband.
Okay, well now I'm really rooting for BNK FearX. I've never hoped for a comeback more than this.
All right, here's the beginning. They're going to make it happen. Raptor takes the lantern. He's like, wait, that's Nautilus.
Guys, come on, lock in. This is for Chronicler's hair. This is for all the marbles.
It's very important that BNK win this game.
This is vital.
Yeah. So Canyon's just gonna go ahead and take the Rift Heralds.
Yeah, we usually try and stay unbiased, but in this situation,
I think everybody can join us. You know,
get behind
they would understand.
this.
Yeah. Duro, they're finally gonna get him to flash out of a Cataclysm. But yeah, he's still unkillable. Has not died yet.
yeah.
And so far, it's actually a perfect game.
Wow, makes it seem like a really good hairband, doesn't it?
Well, he's already agreed to it, so you know.
Yeah.
Through telepathy, of
Don't
course.
need to pitch it anymore.
Yeah.
He's already fully consented. He's on board.
Yeah.
Okay, it's an Ocean Soul. So here are the factors to take into account. Ocean Soul, so weak soul, right? Also, the sustain, not going to make that much of a difference. You already have sustain with the Nidalee, so, you know, we're fine. Ornament's going to get handed out in a bit. Oh!
Oh, for who? I'm worried about Diablo.
Nice little dodge.
Yeah.
Raptor just tanked it because he does that. They've spotted Keen.
He does do that. Keen still level 13 Renekton, and not even going to Dominus. Doesn't even give them the time of day.
Man, I've never been so invested.
All right, here's an opportunity. Bikla trying his best. He heard about the hairband. Ruler just gonna continue with the Rift Herald into mid.
Watch out for the spear!
Yeah, that hit the exact right target as well.
Okay, it's fine, guys. Just back off. You don't need to contest Dragon now. Give space. It's just Ocean. It's just Ocean. It's just Ocean. It's okay. Back off, heal up, give it some space. They've lost some towers. It's unfortunate.
Uh-oh.
Bikla, care for Chovy.
Bikla, no!
You have Pen, just walk through it. Walk through it. Nice dodge.
Yeah, he's trying to just walk this one off. He's not even gonna flash. Uh-oh.
I'm so dialed in now. I'm so dialed in.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen as well? If Gen.G, and I'm using if Gen.G win this game, Chronicle's going to send us a smug picture of his hair looking very long.
Yeah. So Degon also said he would hair bet 9,000 lead.
Wow.
Does that mean, like, Gen.G need to win with more than 9,000 gold? Otherwise, he's going to hair bet? Like, what if they win with 8,000? All right. Wow. All right, Degon's getting in on the fun as well.
Oh man, I'm come on, BNK FearX, lock in.
I mean, they're trying. They're honestly, like, it looks like they're doing as good as
they
you
got
can
cleanse?
from 11,000 gold down. Duro does not have flash, but he's also pretty tanky. I mean, even the power comes in. The rocket gonna hit Kellen, but you know what? I mean, BNK get the pick. We do have Chovy on the long flank, though, coming on in, and the Zhonya's is there, and Bikla, oh no! He is just not existing anymore! It's popped like a balloon, Keen once in.
They got him!
And, well, he also...
Oh no, the resets!
Yeah, now we get the resets, now the Jinx comes through, and now there is no hope for BNK in this fight.
Man, why did Gen.G have to be so good at the game?
Oh, Gen.G. Well, BNK had their shot. I feel like, you know, if they had won...
No, it's not over. I'm not giving up yet.
One,
I'm not giving up yet. Okay?
We would have had a real series.
I still believe. There's still hope.
Well, the Nexus hasn't died yet.
All I need, Brendan, I just need you to picture in your mind
Visualization.
Degon and Chronicler bald, right?
That's a great picture, honestly.
Just visualize that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
Man, Chovy's Zoe is pretty good.
They did a decent job
Zoe?
of fighting back, but the health bars got low and they're playing into a Jinx.
Zoe. I mean, this is one of the most... It's one of the most difficult comps to play against from behind. Like, you can't get away from them. There's Nautilus, too. The Nidalee, you're never going to outrun her. The Zoe will always flash after you. The Jinx is going to get excited. Like, there's just so many tools in the toolkit here for Gen.G to make sure that you do not survive.
Yeah. Oh, that's...
So one of these guys is better at buffering than the other. And it's Duro is better than Raptor in this case. I think the game is, you know, I'm gonna say it. I think the game is over.
You've lost faith?
Yeah, I think I've now that it's 15,000 gold, you know, I think it's safe enough.
Oh wait, Jinx ulted to stop the recall.
Yes.
Oh man.
They're just too good. It's looking like Gen.G is going to Brazil, guys. I mean, if they win this, they will earn a seed to first stand because LCK has 2 after last year. And BNK, they were trying their best. They wanted it so badly. They took out T1 a couple of days ago, and they said, we can take out Gen.G as well. And then Gen.G said no. And I think that's just what's going to happen here. They throw everything into the Renekton. And, you know, they got the Renekton. And that's about it. Flash comes forward. The Battlestar was pretty far off, but it doesn't quite matter. As he's got a Medjai's, he has 16 stacks. It's 16,000 gold. And Gen.G, they said, oh, we actually lost a game to these guys. Let's lock in and make sure that that doesn't happen again. Because now it's just a kettle of fish. They're throwing everything at them, and there's no hope here for BNK. Diablo just being bullied in the fountain, and it looks like Gen.G will put the top on this series. Ruler just running in the face of all of them. They can't do anything to this Jinx. It's so sad. And Kennen says, I've been in this position before. Let's just kill the Nexus. Never mind. Let's enable Ruler to get a pentakill instead. I don't think it's actually a penta, it's a double into a triple into Vikla standing still. That will be the end of the series. Quadra for Ruler, and Gen.G will be moving on to the finals in Hong Kong and also on to first stands in Brazil. Gen.G, our best team.
많이 없다. 다리 좀 넓게 잡은 거.
They're saying nobody has flash, I think.
나 끌게. 나이스. 바로 팔죠.
Just calling cooldowns.
저기 한다.
At what point do you think Ruler calls for a penta?
바로만 나온다.
I'm gonna say like right now.
야, 넥서 치는 거 이걸 봐줘야 돼. 나 만화가 없어서.
나도 만화가 없거든.
They're saying like we don't have mana, we actually have to protect Ruler.
해줄게.
자르만 노플 재혁이 형.
I think
They're saying no flash.
앞에 노플.
I think after Felios he calls for it.
아 전지.
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it!
야! 아 내가 넥서 쳤어.
I knew it.
He starts freaking out and he's like, he's like, don't hit the Nexus, and then he hit it. He's like, oh crap, I hit it. Great damage from Ruler in this game. He wasn't necessarily the main character, but he did his job. Did a bunch of damage on the Jinx, got all the resets, and finished them off. The Jinx ends up being a great pick.
Canyon, Nidalee win rate keeps going up. Keen, great on Renekton. Chovy, great on Zoe. Ruler, great on Jinx. It's Keen, gonna get the POM.
This shouldn't be a surprise.
Crushed lane every game and was a monster in the first 2. Third game was really far ahead, but there was some shenanigans that led him to fall behind.